So in this case, having looked at the different classifications of carbohydrates, that is for the monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and lastly the polysaccharides that we have done, we're going to look at some of the illustrations that I've said, which are going to assist us trying to figure out basically what these concepts of classifications of carbohydrates entail. So I'm going to give an illustration on the board which is going to assist us try to define these specific molecules. Now the illustration I've given on the board is basically the form of carbohydrates that is being hydrolyzed or maybe undergoing hydrolysis in order to form two specific monosaccharides. So basically from this, this is known as sucrose, and it's undergoing hydrolysis. So you can see from this point, and it's forming two specific monosaccharides, and that is for glucose, and this one is fructose. But we're going to see that there's a specific nomenclature or a system of configuration that we have to use in order to name these two specific products. And that one we're going to talk about the naming of these specific carbohydrate molecules. Now in this case we have talked about the concept of Fischer projection, and this is going to take, of course, play a role in trying to name these specific molecules. Now this is going to be in combination with the Kahn-Ingold Prelog system that we talked about in one of our videos, and this is absolute configuration system of trying to give the R and S configuration for chiral centers that we had looked into. Now in this case, specifically for molecules, we're also going to encompass the concept of giving alpha and beta of what we refer to as the anomeric carbon, or maybe the other molecules that are going to be treated as substituents in this specific kind of configuration. Now in this case, most of the carbohydrates that we're going to see, especially from the concept of a Fischer projection for the specific molecules in trying to give the chiral centers, we're going to see that it's going to assume a specific form where the molecules are represented using vertical and horizontal lines. And at these specific points, we're going to have stereogenic centers for these specific molecules. And the aldehydes and ketones that we talked about are going to form this particular point, and the numbering is going to go downward. So we're going to look at that. But in this case, we're going to see that there are ways in which we're going to attain the cyclic forms of the carbohydrates. And that one we're going to discuss in a different video. But in this case, if I can try to mention it, we have a cyclic form of carbohydrates and the chain form. Now in attaining the cyclic forms from the chain form, we're going to see that the numeric carbon is going to undergo a rearrangement, and basically we're going to attain the Miyaseto forms of these specific carbohydrates for different number of carbon to form rings. Now this is going to form the range of